Now being transcribed. This call is now being recorded.
I hope the echo is now gone. So let's get right into it. Our topic today is climbing the corporate ladder, and we're looking at strategies for securing that employee promotion. So if you want a promotion at your workplace, maybe you've stayed there for 5-10 years. We are trying to tackle things like when do you look for the promotion and what the things that you need to do to be able to get this promotion. So I'll start off with the quote. The best way to secure a promotion is not to seek it for oneself, but to strive tirelessly for the success of the team and the organization. Recognition will naturally follow. This is a quote by Howard Schultz. I hope it resonates with us. So the topics we are going to cover today will look at understanding the promotion landscape. So how do promotions occur in different organizations? Then we have building a promotion-worthy profile. How do you sort of build that particular profile that maybe your employer or organizations are looking for you to be worthy being promoted? Then navigating office politics. Of course, politics always comes in because you find there are some of the obstacles that may come in when dealing with people, because when you're dealing with many people, definitely will have certain obstacles coming in through office politics. Maybe someone is feeling like they're threatened and all that. Then there's communicating your value. How do you communicate that you're valuable to the organization? Then there's seizing opportunities for growth, overcoming common roadblocks that occur. And then, of course, we'll finalize with our key takeaways. So I want to start with one question, and I hope we are feeling free to just unmute and maybe answer this question for me. Why do you want this promotion? Anyone? Just feel free to unmute and try answer that question. Anyone? Or you can even chat on the chat box. Why do you feel you need the promotion? Yvonne? Sorry, I picked on you. Why do you feel you want a promotion? Because that's, you need to start from the point of why. Asking yourself this question, whether you really want it and the reasons why. Because this is a crucial question that will lead you to even unveil certain answers that, or even give you a direction to follow. Or maybe anyone can tell me what
I
reasons
think,
yes? Yes, go ahead.
I think as human being, we look at sensation, also more responsibility, and also the ability to make, bigger decisions than where we are at.
Yeah, so more compensation. So meaning, of course, more pay. Yeah, most people look for promotions for more pay. There's you mentioned responsibility. I know there's some like myself. I would definitely look for a promotion so that I have more responsibility and I answer to less people. so that you have just maybe few people that you're answerable to, let's say at a higher level, as opposed to you at a level where many people, you are answerable to so many people and you can't make a decision. I think that is good. Then of course you mentioned also growth. Why else? Anyone else? Those are very valid reasons. Why else do you need a promotion? Martin. Irene. Okay, let's go with that. So some of the questions you need to ask yourself when you are seeking a promotion are what are your career goals? How does this promotion align with them? You can imagine being given a promotion but not within your career path. So maybe you're in finance, but you're given a promotion to go into audit, which is not in line with where you want to go. Maybe you want to go to and become a chief of finance. So you need to ask yourself that question. Does this promotion lead me to the ultimate goal or align with my career? Am I seeking this promotion for the right reasons? That's why I asked that question. Why do you need this promotion? Is it for personal growth? Is it to challenge yourself or career advancement? Or, there's some people who feel, okay, so and so has been promoted, I also want to be promoted. I don't know whether that would be the right reason for seeking a promotion, but I would think not. So you need to be very open with yourself and understand why you need this promotion. Is it something that you really want, and are you looking for it for the right reasons? Then have you thoroughly researched the responsibilities and expectations associated with this role? You might want a promotion, but maybe I've seen many people looking for a promotion because of salary alone. So they only factor in the salary, that, okay, I'm getting a raise. But when you get to the job itself, you realize, oh, it means now I'm not even at home early, I'm at work very late because of the responsibilities, and it's even affecting your freedom, the freedom you had when you're at a lower position. And this time you're getting to senior management level, and you find that you don't even have time for family. So you need to evaluate these responsibilities and expectations associated with it, because the truth is, anyone at senior leadership level or management level will tell you that at management level, things might look good, but the responsibility is also very high. What is expected of you is very much. Because anything going wrong, I'll give you an example. We had the incident at KQ, I think, where the water flooded the airport. And also we had the issue of electricity going off at the airport. Who was let go? Wasn't it the CEO and sub-senior leadership? Look at KPLC. Anything happening, it will happen. The decision makers are the ones who are first challenged to take responsibility. And in some cases, you might be the scapegoat for this. So these are some of the things you need to look at. Are you ready for that kind of exposure? So if the answer is yes, then you should go for this promotion. But if your answer is no, that you're not ready for the responsibilities or expectations, and probably you just need a higher pay, then you can renegotiate for a salary increment rather than a promotion, because a promotion comes with a higher position and of course a salary adjustment for a higher position. But in some cases, if your expertise are very much needed, then you can look at negotiating a better salary within the same position, as long as the organization structure and salary structure allows. Then the other question you need to ask yourself is, do you possess the necessary skills, experiences, and qualifications required for this promotion? So you find that someone wants a promotion, but they do not qualify for that particular role. That's a question you need to ask yourself. Then, am I willing to commit the additional commit to the additional responsibilities, the potential challenges, or in work-life balance, as I had mentioned earlier, that may come with this promotion? That's a question you need to ask yourself. Then, how will this promotion contribute to your overall job satisfaction and fulfillment? I've seen many people taking jobs because of pay, and within 2 months, it's too much. It's too much. The pressure is too much, and they are no longer satisfied with their role. So you need to ask yourself that question: will it give you more satisfaction? Then we have I considered the potential impact of the promotion on my professional development and long-term career trajectory? As I said in the beginning, does this promotion lead you towards your goal, career goal, or away from? Because I've seen different incidences whereby there is a promotion, yes, but it is not within your line. So it's similar to your line or career path, but it's not within. And the moment you take this, it's like you're going to, let's say, Mombasa, and then you get to a point like a junction. Instead of continuing, you find a shortcut that leads you at a different place, but maybe at a different place, basically a different destination. So you need to look at it from that point. If it's leading you towards your career goals, then go for it. If it's not, you need to reevaluate that. Then, of course, we have, are there any concerns or reservations I have about taking on the promoted role, and how do you address them? So maybe there is a role that is vacant, but probably you have concerns. You might find that if taking up that role, then you need to deal with maybe a certain supervisor or a certain at the board directors and everyone that maybe you may have maybe brushed off shoulders before. So you need to put in mind such, because you'll need to go overboard and prove yourself in this new role still. Then how have I sought feedback from mentors, colleagues, and trusted advisors to gain perspective on whether the promotion is a right fit for me? So you need to still seek advice, find out people who have done it before in that role, and see whether this role that I'm going for, is it a right fit for me? You can even, if you are in good terms with your manager or supervisor, and the culture is good, you can even ask them, okay, according to how you've seen me and you've assessed my performance, is this a right move for my career? But it's always good to have a mentor and a career coach, because you can ask them these questions and they'll be able to answer you openly and genuinely. Then what alternatives exist if the promotion is not the best option for me at this time? So you need to look at all these questions, and at this point, if you realize that one, this career, this promotion does not align with my career goals, what do you do? Do you look for a different avenue to get your promotion? If it's not the right, if answers to these questions are more negative than positive, you need to reevaluate and look at options and see whether you can be able to get other options or avenues to get a promotion or to get what you wanted when you were seeking this promotion. So we want to start off with understanding the promotion landscape. Every organization does promotions differently. I hope we agree with that. So if I am to ask anyone who can volunteer, even on the chat, how does your organization carry out promotions? Anyone? Because this is the starting point, that you need to understand, okay, in what kind of organization am I? And you need to gain insights into the dynamics of promotions within the organizations. including what criteria does the organization use, the processes that are involved, who are the decision makers involved in making this decision for promotion. Is it your supervisor? Is it your line manager? Because you have organizations whereby, yes, you have a supervisor, but their supervisor is the one who makes this decision. So I'll give you an example. If you are a HR assistant and your supervisor maybe is a HR officer, but the HR manager is the one who makes the decision on whether you as the HR assistant would be promoted, as in makes the final decision. So you need to understand who makes this decision within the organization. So there are two types of organization. So I'll go with structured and unstructured. So we have certain organizations that are very structured. They have clear hierarchy, and pathways for advancement. So when you get into that organization, you know that this is the path. In case I want to be promoted, this is the entry point when I'm joining, this is my salary, this is the job group. And in case I am within that organization for X number of years, then I'll be promoted. Government is a good example of, they have so many structures when it comes to salary. So you have job groups, and maybe job group A, you need to have maybe this years of experience and maybe this qualification. So you find you need X number of experience and maybe a degree. For you to get to the next level, you need another, maybe you further your education and then also a number of years of experience. And in most cases in government, it comes automatically. Of course, there are the politics here and there, but in most cases it comes automatically, like teachers. You'll find teachers, when you have certain qualifications and years of experience, you are moved to the next grade. So that is structured. So under structured, still promotions are based on objective criteria like performance and tenure. So tenure, how long have you stayed within the organization? So there's no way this particular organization will, if they base it on tenure, they'll not have someone who has been there for longer, not get a promotion, and you get that promotion having joined recently. So those things are the things you need to look at. Formal policies and procedures are in place. So which policies and procedures when it comes to promotions within the organization? Then we have unstructured. I'll give an example of family businesses. Most family businesses, you'll find that they don't have that structure. And when it comes to promotions, it's less formal. You'll find sometimes, sadly, it is more of subjective. So you'll find that someone is given a promotion. Someone came yesterday, they've not even proved themselves, but you find they're getting a promotion. So this one is less formal. The promotions are based on subjective factors like relationships and potential. Then decision making may be ad hoc. So you might find that, yes, your supervisor may see your work is good, but you can't get the promotion because the owner of the business is the one making that decision. And sometimes they come in and just say, okay, so and so has been promoted because of maybe how maybe they just did one thing, or whatever relationship they have, they get that promotion that way. So you need to ask yourself these two questions. In what kind of organization am I? Am I in a structured organization or unstructured? Because that will guide what way to use in terms of getting that promotion. But I will now break it down. So how are promotions done in your organization? So one, and we're looking at the structured, so merit based. So here employees advance based on performance. So if you, based on performance achievements and competencies demonstrated within the organization. So if you've done your work as expected, then, and you've met all the KPIs that have been allocated to you, then definitely we have the merit-based promotions, which are automatic given this is a structured organization. Seniority-based promotion, so length of service, as I had mentioned. So in such cases, those who have been in the organization for longer get the promotions before anyone who has come in recently. That is just briefly how it is. Skills based or competency based promotions. So this promotion is contingent on mastery of specific skills and competencies. Such an example would be IT. So you find maybe software developers are, in some cases, they're given promotions to higher job grades because of their skill and because also the organization may want to retain them because of the expertise they have. Then leadership development programs. So high potential employees are groomed for leadership roles through structured development initiatives. So you find that through this program, you find people, high potential individuals are able to get these promotions within the organization. Then succession planning. So key leadership positions are filled with internal successors identified and prepared in advance. So as a matter of succession planning, because in most cases, most organizations would want to keep that DNA of the organization within. So you find that people in leadership positions would always likely come from within. So let's say you want to be a manager, and you want to be a manager, and your organization always promotes internally. So you need to position yourself for these leadership positions from within, because you already have an advantage that the promotions are done internally. Then cross-functional promotions. So this involves transitioning between different departments or functions. So let's say probably you have a big organization that has a big HR function. So you might want to move maybe from records to probably employee welfare or employee wellness, which might be ranked higher as opposed to records management within the organization. So that so you might find that organizations, some organizations have that kind of promotion structure. Then promotion by special projects or assignments. So here, employees are demonstrate readiness for promotion by successfully completing strategic projects. An example of such an organization is like Google. You'll find that these special projects that have impact to the organization, if you are part of such a project and it's a success, then you might line up yourself very well for promotions that may come. So let's say, like, I'll take an example of Microsoft. So Microsoft, there's the Bing search. It's like Google, but it's a search engine for Microsoft. So when the developers, when they had a deal with OpenAI, it breathed a bit of life into the Bing search, because now it has AI and it's more sophisticated than, and giving competition to Google. So in most cases, this department or this faction of the organization, which was not being used by many, but right now, because of the influx and because of the changes within, then if you are the lead of this project or among the people who are working on this project, you'll find that as an organization, this particular project may be given very high value, and you are even getting a promotion out of it to become even project lead or technical lead or even a CEO. Then performance-based bonuses. Then we have formal promotion processes. So those are some of the different ways organizations look at. And this one, we're looking at structured organizations. Yes, going by seniority may not be fair, but if that is how the organization has a policy around that anyone who is supposed to be promoted has to be to have this number of years of experience within the organization, then that is what will happen. Then we are looking at building a promotion-worthy profile. So here you are looking at you need to learn how to cultivate the skills, experiences, and attributes that make you a prime candidate for advancement. So are you the right person, and are you portraying yourself as the right person for this promotion? That's a question you need to ask yourself. And whatever qualifications and experience that you have, are they enough to move you to the next level or get this promotion? So see, here are some of the steps that you may need to look at. So you need to assess your skills and achievements. So within the organization, yes, you want a promotion. Have you done anything of significance for the organization that is not noticeable? So you need to make a list of skills, experiences, and achievements relevant to your position, the position you are aiming for. This could include any projects that were successful, or any other initiatives which you led, or specific skills that you've developed within the time frame you are in the organization. And just to take you back, when you join an organization, you need to also look at the timing. When do you want to look for this promotion? So this one will guide you on whether will lead you to the skills that you need and the time frame that is there. Then you'll be able to understand how to maybe break down how the skills you need to learn and how long it will take you to learn these skills. Then the next would be, you highlight your contributions. Of course, you need to always highlight your contributions within the organization. Then we have network internally. Ensure you have people who can speak for you in terms of they are able to give you the sort of recommendations within the organization that, okay, this project was successful, but someone can always talk on your behalf, because there are certain meetings that you will not be privy to. So let's say it's a management meeting, and there's a project that you did well and was a success. If you have someone within that the management that can say, oh, this project was done by so and so, that gives you a bit of a name within that level, and you're able to get known, get that visibility, because it's important. You need to get that visibility with the person making this decision, and with also network with the rest of the team. Then be a master of one, because you can't master everything. So being a master of one, I normally advise that you look for maybe the most boring stuff that people don't like to do, but are of high value to the organization or to a project. Then once you get this particular area that most people don't like to do but are of value, then you can learn it and master it very well, and find a way of simplifying it for yourself or automate it, so that the work is still being done and you are still being relied upon, but you are the only one who can do this role very well, because no one else wants to do this role. Yeah, it can work for you, it can work against you, because if you're very good, how it can work for you is you're very good and you can get opportunities or promotion opportunities from it. And if you're very good still, it can be a disadvantage, because there is this sort of bias whereby you feel this person is so good at this role. If we remove it from this role, then this function of the organization might collapse. So let's say someone is good at recruitment and knows how to interact with candidates and everything. So the thought is, if we remove this person here, who will handle recruitment? And if there's no good proper succession, then you'll remain at that particular position, and you might find that opportunities are passing you by because you're very good at what you do, and no one else can do what you're doing. Hence, it becomes a challenge for your growth. So you need to find a balance between the two. Yes, be good, but ensure that also there's someone else who can do what you do in case you need to get promoted. So be a master of one area. Then enhance your online experience. So this one is basically just ensuring that you're visible, maybe on platforms that the organization uses. If your organization uses platforms like Teams within the organization, you can be able to use that, because this one is majorly for remote organizations. So ensure that you are always present, because if If your organization is purely remote, the likelihood of missing out is very high, as opposed to organizations that have people working there physically. Then continuous learning and development. Ensure that you always consistently improve your skills and knowledge. That will give you a strong profile. Then communicate your goals, your career goals. So when you join an organization, you need to always communicate with your supervisor that these are your goals and this is what you want to achieve. So that gives you direction. So that even if an opportunity comes in and you communicate, you've already communicated, it's highly unlikely that these opportunities will pass you by, because you've already shared your intent for growth within the organization. Then have a coach and a mentor. This one, it goes without saying, it saves you a lot of time, and you're able to avoid a lot of mistakes. And then seek feedback. So as you are moving through the organization, you need to seek feedback and see, okay, what areas do I need to improve on, and seek this feedback from the right people. Then for this particular slide, we are just looking at how you learn how to play the game. So you need to understand the success metrics for the organization. So how are employees measured, or how is the employee's performance measured? So once you understand how the employee performance is measured, then you need to keep a track record. I know the organizations have performance management, and I know many employees don't like performance management, but the truth is, this is what will show you are working. Because if you can be able to document that this is my deliverables, and this is the progress for all the projects I'm doing, then you keep your track record. It's highly unlikely that you will be passed off for promotion unless it's subjective. Because if you have your details and say, okay, for this project, I did this project was a success, and these are the key learnings, and you're able to document them that way, then it's very unlikely that someone would pass you by for opportunity. So even if your organization does not have a performance management system or doesn't do performance appraisal, take it upon yourself to have a way of evaluating that you're performing. Because you can kickstart a conversation. Because how do you kickstart a conversation on wanting a promotion, yet you don't have any evidence to show that you are performing or you are of value to the organization? So you need to have leverage that I'm doing this for the organization, and this is the value it has brought for the organization. So I feel I need to be promoted. Of course, keep track of your career milestones, and then timing is everything. So don't ask too early for a promotion, and also don't be late. Because normally I say within 0 to 6 months, you need to take this opportunity to learn the role and learn it very well, because this is also the period where you are on probation. So you can't come in on month one and then you are saying you want a promotion in month 2. You've not gotten enough knowledge about the organization. You've not learned the role very well, as much as you might be an expert, but you can't come in within this first 6 months and you want a promotion. That would be a very bad timing. And also you can't wait that you are 3 years in and that's when you want to start asking for a promotion. So it needs to be a conversation that has always been there. So the safe bet would be after 1 year or 2 years, you need to have that, start hinting that you need a promotion. Because it's not something that will happen immediately and may not be in the control of your supervisor. It might have a link to finances. So you need to start hinting that you need a promotion. If you take an example of kids, you'll find that when a kid wants something and they're creative about it, they'll start asking. Let's say they want a bicycle in December, but they'll start asking about it on January, trying to prepare yourself psychologically that they want a bicycle in December. So the same case, if you want a promotion and you feel that is the right path for you, then you start hinting it early enough that in case an opportunity comes, I would clearly want to grow within the organization. And if an opportunity for promotion comes in, then I'll really look into it. Any question till that point? Feel free to unmute as we continue. Do we have any questions in the chat? Okay, I would assume no. So let me continue. In case you have any question, feel free to stop me and we'll have that discussion. So we are going to navigating office politics. So here you need to look at how do you navigate the relationships within the organization? Because in organizations, we have different people within the organization, people with different characters and different temperaments. So you need to learn how to navigate this office politics. Because if you don't learn how to navigate this, you might fall prey, and yes, you might be a good professional within the organization, but you might find that just because you didn't know how to navigate this, then you didn't quite get to the levels that your potential within the organization had. So I've classified them into these areas. So here you need to build strong relationships. That is one. So you need to cultivate strong relationships between you and your colleagues at all levels within the organization, because some organizations you might find the decision makers might be at a certain level, but they also seek counsel for people who have been there for long and might be at a lower level. So if, let's say, you treat the janitor or cook very badly, and this person has been there for long, and this particular maybe waiter, waitress is the person maybe serving the MD's meals, and maybe once in a while the MD asks them about something, and you can imagine if you treated them badly and they mention this to the MD, that maybe the MD just asks, okay, what do you think of so and so? And then they don't even have to say something bad about you. The reaction that they will give, or the body language that they portray when talking about you, might give the MD all the information they need. So you need to be very cautious about the relationships you have within the organization. Then, of course, you need to invest time in getting to know your co-workers. You can imagine you want a promotion within a certain department, but you don't know your co-workers. Yeah. Or you need to know the go-to person when it comes to navigating the office politics. You know, there are certain people who are within the organization. They always have the know-how. They know who did what. They know who you go to. They know who you need to avoid. They know all this. So you need to have at least a bit of information of how to build such relationships so that you are not in the crosshairs or the crossfire when it comes to such. So you build a good relationship within the organization. Stay neutral and diplomatic. So when, let's say, there is a conflict within the organization, so you need to avoid getting into such things and stay neutral. The other aspect would be avoid getting involved in office gossip and taking sides in conflicts. Remain neutral and diplomatic and in your interactions with coworkers, especially in situations where tensions are high. And also you need to focus on maintaining professionalism and keeping communication channels open. Then, of course, understanding power dynamics. This one goes without saying. Who makes the decision within the organization? So you need to understand where the power lies. As I said, you might find, yes, someone is the MD, but maybe this is a family business, and this family business, maybe there is the sister to the owner within the organization, or even if it's not family, there's someone who the owner confides in within the organization, because it happens. If an organization, if the founder of an organization started an organization maybe with an accountant, and this accountant has been there for long with this particular in this particular organization, and you're coming in, you might want to understand what kind of influence this person has, because it will also help you navigate the office politics. Then, of course, you need to take time to observe and understand the power dynamics within your organization. Identify key decision makers, influencers, and informal leaders. Understanding who holds influence can help you navigate office politics more effectively and strategically. Then, of course, be mindful communication. So be mindful of the communication the kind of communication you do. Pay attention to how you communicate with others. So both verbally and non-verbally. Because this, if you are always in altercations with team members, everyone wants to avoid you because of how you talk to them or how you communicate. If you have a short fuse, if I may use that example, you need to learn how to deal with that. Be emotionally intelligent about it. Then focus on your goals. So stay focused on your goals and results. Keep your focus on your work and your goals within the organization. Demonstrate your commitment to achieving your results and contributions and success of the team. Then, of course, manage conflict constructively. So if there is a conflict, don't be quick to side with any party. You need to find a common ground so that you don't come out of this conflict as an enemy of either side, because you might need either side in the future. So conflict is inevitable within the workplace, but how you handle it can make a big difference. Approach conflicts with solution-oriented mindset. So seeking to understand the underlying issues and find mutually beneficial resolutions. You can't come in and just say, okay, there's this conflict and so is normally wrong, so they're wrong. No, you don't take that kind of stand. You need to always be neutral and try manage the situation amicably. Then maintain your integrity and ethical standards. So if you uphold high ethical standards and integrity in all your interactions and decision making, then definitely you will not have much problems when it comes to navigating office politics, because people will always understand that you're a person of integrity and you have a high standard within in whatever you do. So in most cases, you'll find no one wants to bother you because of how you portrayed yourself. Then we get into communicating your value. So I know they normally say you shouldn't toot your own horn, but in such an instance, you need to, but at the right time, because you need people to know that you are valuable within the organization and decision makers to know that you are valuable within the organization so that you can get that promotion. So you need to master the art of self-promotion. You need to master the art of how you self-promote yourself within the organization to the right people, because you might as well be promoting yourself to someone who you feel may make the decision, yet the decision is made elsewhere and it might hit you badly. So you need to self-promote yourself by efficiently articulating your accomplishments, strengths, contributions, and key stakeholders. And you need to find a balance between these and Of course, we have never outshine your master, that particular law. So you need to find a balance between this and how it makes your supervisor or manager look. So you don't overstep. You, in most cases, you would want to build a certain relationship with your supervisor so that they are the ones communicating that you're valuable to the organization on your behalf. So it's better for it to come from your supervisors rather than, let's say you get an opportunity to attend a management meeting and you want to outshine your supervisor to show that you're the one who has been maybe doing the reports for them. So you don't want to do that. Then, so these are certain ways of how to self-promote. So proactively share your successes. So you need to look at avenues where you can share your successes. So regularly communicate your achievements and successes to relevant stakeholders within the organization. It doesn't have to be directly, but it can also be indirectly. Then you need to participate in cross-functional projects, so projects that involve different departments. So you might look at maybe the organization wants to expand and you need to work with maybe finance, you need to work with procurement, or there's a project that the organization is doing and you need to work with different factions of the organization. So you need to take this opportunity as a way of promoting your skill, showing that you can do something. You know, I know many people would shy away from such projects. So you say you look at it as more work, but these are avenues where your skill set and your achievements may be portrayed, or something that you've done within the project. I'll give an example. So let's say the organization is taking up maybe ISO standards or accreditation. So, and you've been invited to be part of the project. You need to look at it from this perspective. This project, where will the end of this project be, in terms of who will this report or the findings of this project end up with? So definitely it will end up at senior leadership or CEO level, and of course your impact within the project would be good. If you had a good impact, then it will give you good visibility. Then engage in thought leadership. Then of course we have seek speaking opportunities. So you need to seek opportunities that can portray you in a certain way. Like for example, look for opportunities to speak at external events, conferences, or lunch and learns. So you need to get these opportunities to be visible. Basically, you're seeking opportunities to be visible within the organization and to the right people. So you can also present topics on relevant areas or related to your area of specialization. Always be willing to speak about them. Then act as a mentor. So you can offer mentorship to junior colleagues or interns or new hires. This can be a good opportunity to show your leadership skills and your value. Then, of course, you can utilize social media and intranet. So this is majorly for, like for example, for social media, you might find you'll find certain employees posting certain things about themselves, things that may be of interest to the organization. So you can leverage on social media platforms and company intranet to share articles, insights about the company, or updates related to your field. So that one will also build or self-promote. This is an avenue of you self-promoting yourself to the right audience. Then build relationships with decision makers. Of course, that one we've mentioned earlier. So you need to build relationships with the decision makers. Like if, let's say, you meet the CEO, you might want to have a bit of a talk with them, just a brief talk, so that at least they can know your name if they are the ultimate decision maker, or even if they are not. Yeah, you can give them a view that they may not have had. Maybe there's a process that can be improved within the organization. You might take that opportunity to ask them if they can try that. If maybe other avenues you've tried have not been successful in you making that change within the organization. Then, of course, create your personal brand, stay visible during remote work. That one we mentioned. Because of remote working, you might have a challenge being visible within the organization. So you need to stay visible, find avenues even remotely to stay visible. Then look for feedback. Yeah. Solicit feedback and endorsement. So, like I said, if you want a promotion, you should be able to self promote yourself, but the ultimate thing would be someone else at a higher level or someone with a good reputation should also be able to sell you as a candidate for this position. There's some instances where it's obvious that, oh, so and so is good, but there's some instances that someone needs to sort of market you to the right people or to the right decision makers. That's why you need to always keep a good relationship. Then, of course, seizing opportunities for growth. So when there are opportunities to grow, both learning, you need to take those opportunities to grow your career. So discover how to proactively seek and capitalize on opportunities for skills development, leadership roles, and increased responsibility. So you need to look at the opportunities that are there. So let's say an organization is sponsoring people to go for training, maybe a leadership training. You should take up such opportunities, because even if it's something that you've done before, let's say it's a course that you've done before, but you never know, you'll always learn something new. So if there are such opportunities, then you can take them up. So these are just some areas or ways on how you can seize the opportunities. So ensure that you've set clear goals, be proactive, seek feedback regularly, network within and outside the organization. So this particular, you can network within the organization with colleagues, and also you might find that you have maybe customers or suppliers who work with you directly, and you never know, they might as well speak about you in a good way. So you need to have that kind of good network and good relationship with them. Stay up to date with current industry trends. Then, of course, take on stretch assignments. So assignments that and projects that need a lot of dedication, and maybe such timeframes are short, then you need to take them up and show what you're made of and how you can be a success. And this will always give you that upper hand. Because if you are taking up a project that maybe requires you to stay up late, maybe for a week, so you're always late, and when you're late, of course, junior employees would have already gone home by 5, and you are there, and the kind of people you're dealing with, maybe you'll find that maybe the CEO is there, the managers are there, and you're working on this project with them. It will always give you that edge when an opportunity comes. Of course, there's that sort of bias. It's there. That okay, so and so even stays up late when we have this particular when we had this particular project. So it might work in your favor. That's why I still go back to whether you want a promotion, because such things are the things that you need to do in order to get them, depending on the organization. Then developing your leadership skills, build a strong personal brand, be flexible and adapt to change. So whenever we have change within the organization, don't be the first person to say maybe how it will not work. because that already portrays you in a bad light. So be willing to adapt to new situations and changes, technologies within the organization. Then communicate your aspirations. Always make it known that what you want to do with your career. Then we have now overcoming common roadblocks within while seeking promotions. So definitely we'll have certain roadblocks within the process of seeking promotion. So lack of visibility. So this is where maybe your role is not visible at all to the decision makers. So you need to find ways of ensuring that you're visible. So make sure that your contributions are visible to your superiors. Regularly update them on your achievements, projects, and responsibilities. Consider scheduling regular meetings to discuss your progress and goals. So that one can give you a bit of visibility. Of course, we talked about seeking opportunities basically to be visible. Then skills gap. So what gaps do you have in your skills? Because this can be a hindrance in you getting that promotion. So yes, you want to be a manager, but you're told you need a certain skill. You need a project management skill. You need to have a master's. You need to have a certain competency. So you need to look at that and find a way of dealing with it. So identify the skill and qualifications required for the promotion you are aiming for. Take proactive steps to acquire them, whether through training, online courses. You can also look at mentorship or on-the-job planning so that you can acquire these skills. Don't hesitate to ask for feedback to gauge on whether you need to improve more and where you need to improve. So ask your supervisor where you need to improve to get to the next level. Ask your mentor, ask your colleagues or peers across the organization so that they can guide you on areas that you need to improve to get to the next level. Then you might have limited networking, so you don't have networking opportunities. So this might be both within the organization and outside. So you need to build relationships with colleagues, mentors, and leaders so that you can provide, so that they can provide you with insights on the areas that you need. So attend industry events. We have, like for HR, we have HRM events. For accountants, we have ISPAC. So you need to get these opportunities. You go out to seek these opportunities. These opportunities, you can only get them when you go out to seek for them. Such opportunities like this one, where we are having this webinar, you can still interact with people within your industry and learn a lot. Then there's, of course, lack of confidence. So probably in most cases you'll find there's the imposter syndrome. So someone feels like, okay, do I even, yes, I qualify, but do I have what it takes to take up this role? So you need to find a way of getting over it. Believe in your abilities and the value you bring to the table, and keep a record of your achievements and positive feedback to boost your confidence. And then, of course, if you need to, of course, we have mental things that you can do, like practicing self-affirmations and visualize yourself succeeding in the desired role. So if you, let's say you are a HR officer and you want to be at HR manager level, but you still feel there's something you lack, like you lack confidence. So you need to start seeing yourself in that role. As with anything, if you want something, you need to start seeing yourself as you're worthy getting that particular thing. If you want maybe a new house, you need to look at yourself as if you deserve it, and then it will start changing your mind frame and you start looking at this particular goal as something that is possible and that you deserve it. Then, of course, we have office politics. That one we've talked about. So you need to know how to deal with office politics. If you have unclear goals, you need to ensure that you have clarity in the goals that you have set, and whether they align with you getting the promotion. Then, of course, we have inadequate preparation. So if you feel you are not well prepared, seek avenues to get thoroughly prepared for the promotion opportunities that may arise. I normally say, even if you don't have a job, you don't wait for the job to get ready. So you just get ready, and then when the job comes, you'll be well prepared for the role. You'll not get the job and then you start learning what you should do within that job. I'll give you an example. So if, let's say, you are a HR assistant and the next role maybe is a HR officer, start learning things that you need to know as a HR officer. Once you're done with that, even if you're still a HR assistant and you've learned everything you need to learn about you've learned everything you need to learn about HR officer role, you'll go to the next level, learn about HR manager level. After that, learn about the next, so that when these opportunities come, because they will definitely come, you will be extra prepared for them. So don't wait for the opportunity. Just keep learning, keep improving, and preparing yourself for the next role. So the same with promotion. If you are seeking a promotion to a certain level, get all the skills that you need for that particular role. Be prepared. Then fear of rejection. Of course, many people fear that maybe you might get that role and then maybe you have resistance to change people within your department. So you need to understand that rejection is a natural part of the process and doesn't reflect your worth as a professional. Use rejections as learning opportunities to identify areas of improvement and resilience. So stay persistent and keep pursuing opportunities that align with your career goals. So don't fear that you'll be rejected, because if you seek a promotion and you're rejected, that's the worst thing. As in, there's nothing worse that would happen. It's just that you've not gotten that role today. It doesn't mean that you won't get it tomorrow. So you need to overcome that. Then work-life balance, you need to understand how you will maintain a healthy work-life balance to avoid burnout and maintain productivity when it comes. So this is one of the areas. So you find that when you move from maybe non-supervisory role to supervisory role, you will realize that you need to find this balance between work life and life. So you need to seek out ways or seek a mentor to help you balance this out. Then lack of patience. So you find that someone has gotten into a job and they've seen an opportunity, they are already applying for it, and they've not mastered the current role that they are holding. Or there's an opportunity that comes within the organization, but someone feels like they need this role. So patience needs to come in. You need to recognize that career progression takes time and perseverance. Celebrate small victories along the way and stay committed to your long-term goals. So be patient and persistent in your efforts, knowing that your hard work will eventually pay off. Then the last bit would be about creating a personalized promotion plan. So this will sort of just give you areas that you need to look at when you're developing one. So if you want to be promoted, you need to have like a roadmap or a plan on how to go about it. So of course, define your objectives. What are the objectives what are your objectives basically in wanting to be promoted? The things that you need to do to be promoted. Then know your audience. Who are your target audience? In this case, I would say everyone would be your target audience, but majorly the decision makers, because you need your value to be evident to them that you are valuable. So you need to understand who are your audience. Then choose the right channels. So in choosing the right channels, you need to select the most appropriate promotion channel based on where your target audience is most active. This include maybe social media platforms. Let's say if you know your boss normally checks out your status, probably you would want to post things that would resonate with them. Because this is always has a bias when it comes to promotion. Some of it conscious, some of it unconscious. But the truth is, if someone, in most cases, if let's say there's an employee who doesn't give you much problem, as much as they may not be the best, but if they come to promotion, you'll find most supervisors would go with this person who makes their work easier as opposed to one who makes their work more difficult. Then craft a compelling message, set a budget. So when setting a budget, you determine how much you are willing to invest in your promotion activities. So if it's courses that you need to take up, what is the cost of these courses? Or if it's time, what time do you need? Consider the costs associated with each channel. If maybe you need to do something that will require finances, then you need to look at it. Then I would end at creating a timeline of your promotion. So you can tell yourself, I've gotten this job today. So when do I start agitating for a promotion? When do I start looking for promotion or start communicating that I am interested in a promotion? So you can tell yourself within a year, 2 years, you need to, if you've done everything you need to within that particular role, then you need to start making it clear that you need a promotion. Then, of course, implementing tracking and analytics. So tracking your achievements, tracking your performance in your current role and different roles that you've held. I'll skip this to the end. So basically, I'll be able to share this bit. So of course we have you maintain consistency in terms of what you need when you need that promotion, what you need to do to get that promotion. So I end it with this question: are you, from whatever you've gone through, are you ready for that promotion? Do you feel you are ready for that particular promotion? Are we? From whatever we've gone through. Anyone? We've come to the end. So this final presentation is basically like a conversation starter. If you want, like a template, if you maybe want to start a conversation around your promotion, maybe you can ask your supervisor, depending, this is just a sample that I found very intriguing, that maybe you can talk to your supervisor and tell them, having spent almost a year in my current role and overachieving revenue targets by X percentage through initiatives ABC. So the initiatives you've done, you'd love to hear their thoughts on how you can best position yourself for a promotion, maybe in the next promotion, in case, let's say, someone leaves, or maybe if it's a scheduled promotion, then you can list it there. Then since you have much, you can tell them, since you have a much broader perspective, it will be great if you could share your skills, share the skills you see as strong performers at the next level that I could work towards. So still, you need to get that information on what you need to do that will make you a success at the next level, or in case you get that particular promotion. So we've come to the end. So I welcome any questions. I'm seeing a chat. Okay, thank you, Agnes. Any question, just feel free to unmute. Regina, just feel free.
Okay, thank you very much, Dendel, for this. I appreciate. And I have a question.
Yes.
Concerning if, for example, I have the skills, I have all these that we've talked about,
Yes.
and I would like now to negotiate. How do I get to communicate my the promotion? Do I just walk to the HR, or do I just write a letter to the director? How do I go about it? And supposing I am working at an operational level in an organization, and
Yes.
the position that you are seeking for is at the management level.
Mm-hmm.
How do you handle the fear of not receiving the support of the colleagues who you are with at the operational level, if you are working within the same organization?
Okay, thank you for that. The questions. So for the first one, how do you communicate? You're asking how do you communicate that you need a promotion? So as I had mentioned, the promotion, you don't ask for it in one sitting. Yeah. You start hinting at you needing that promotion to the person that makes this decision, basically. So you need to have that conversation, have an ongoing conversation, like this particular statement. This particular statement basically can come in when you are having maybe a performance review. So you can have the discussion that in the performance review, showing that you of course you've been there for a while and you would want to be promoted. So what are the things you need to do in order to be ready for this particular position? Yes, you might have majority of them, but maybe you lack one or two. So this conversation, you start it at that point whereby you're just making it, showing that intention that you would want a promotion maybe in future. So you need to have your supervisor know that. So it's not something that you just go to HR and ask for the promotion immediately. You need to have worked backwards on it and say, okay, I've joined this organization today. I'm giving myself 6 months to learn the role, and then the other 6 months to master the role completely. So 1 year, that one is just for learning and ensuring that you have impact. Then from the year 2, you now start making hints on what you need, having those intentions out there that you need, you would want a promotion, putting yourself out there for projects within the organization that would give you visibility. And of course, things like taking up leadership positions. In most cases, you find people taking up leadership positions would, in most cases, be at a better place for promotion. So yes, you are not the leader, but you are taking up responsibilities that, or your supervisor is delegating for you roles that are leadership roles. So you need to look at it from that point. So maybe if you have done all that, and your intention is there of wanting this promotion when it comes around, because like, for example, government, promotions will always come around because maybe people are retiring. In most cases, people are retiring. So you need to have agitated for this role early enough and have everything that you need to get that promotion. So I would work on it that way by having everything in place, and then you going to ask for it is just the final thing because it's already known. I don't know whether that answers your question.
Yeah, that is okay.
Okay. Then for the next question, you are in operations management and you fear not getting the support. So what kind of support would you need from? Are they not supporting you when you're doing this work, or do you need their support to get the promotion?
Okay, I believe when you will be maybe at the supervisory or more of management level,
Yes.
there is a if you had not created a rapport, or rather a good relationship with people, or
Mm-hmm.
if there are lots of politics within the operational level, and then
Mm-hmm.
you are moving now from operational level to the management level, how do you handle, how do you get, or how do you leverage on their support from the colleagues that you worked with at the operational, and now that you are their leader?
Mm. So how I'll approach answering that is in two ways. So one, as you get into an organization, you already know your career path, and you already know that you might need the people you're working with, almost everyone that you're working with at some point in your career path. So one, it would be to, as we had mentioned earlier, to maintain good relationships with them from the beginning. Because if you want to one day become maybe a senior leader within the organization, then you need to ensure that you have very good relationship, because you never know. And also you keep boundaries, because if you're at a lower level and you don't have boundaries, and you are the one maybe gossiping, you are the one doing this, the truth is, if you get to senior level, they will not respect you because they know the things you've done. They know the skeletons you have in your closet. So you need to make it very intentional. When you get to a role, you need to have certain standards and certain do's and don'ts that you abide to. That when I get into this role, these are the things that I will do. These ones are the things that I will never do. Like some of the things that, like for example, myself, I told myself when getting into employment a while back is things like gossip, office gossip, never. You'll never find me in such things. So you keep that your distance on things that might affect you in future, because at the end of the day, you might want to lead this team. And if, let's say, you are the one, you have a supervisor and you're the one giving this supervisor a hard time, the truth is, the moment you are also at that level, they'll also give you a hard time. So that is one way of looking at it. So from the beginning, be intentional in terms of how the approach you want to take in terms of your career. And if your approach is right, when you get to that level, you won't have any problems dealing with them because you'll already have their support. The second way is if you don't have their support, and it's not because there's something that you did bad when you're at operations, it's just because there is this resistance to change. So being at operations is an advantage, because if you are overseeing them, you already know how it is there. So you need to look at maybe how to convince them, and if you have troublemakers, how to neutralize these troublemakers. I want to just leave it at that, because I don't want to go into the things that you would do to maybe deal with or neutralize it. But if we have, because we know the people who are troublemakers, the people who resist change, if you are at operations level and you had people who are resisting change, you already know these people, so you would want to win them over diplomatically. And if it's not possible, then because you're the supervisor, then as long as it's as per policy and it's allowed, because if someone just sabotages work, let's say there's a project you're doing and someone sabotages it, then there are certain things that you can do within the organizational policies. So that those are the two ways that I would look at it. I hope that answers.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay. Then I'm seeing Lillian, the promotion on seniority can be very demoralizing to the other colleagues, especially if they have what it takes. That is very true. But certain organizations like government, they all, especially Kenya, we always have that. They'll go for seniority. How many years of experience do you have? How long have you stayed within the organization? It is demoralizing. And that's why I mentioned, if you are at an organization, you need to learn how promotions are done. Because if that is not something that you would want, then you might as well start looking at opportunities to find an organization that does promotions in a way that you would quickly grow or quickly appreciate. Because if you are in an organization and maybe the person who has just been promoted has like 20 years, let's say in government, they are, let's say, at 40 years and they've just been promoted to a role that is senior to yours and you're reporting to them. In most cases in government, unless something happens to this person, they'll stay there till they are retired. So are you willing to wait for 20 years to get that promotion because it's done on seniority? Of course not. You need to look at avenues of getting leaving the organization to get a promotion elsewhere. So that's my advice for that particular one. Then I'm seeing Winnie. How do you go about compensation discussions when one is being promoted so that one does not end up with a big title, more responsibilities, but less compensation? Winnie, I'm not quite getting this one. If you're able to unmute, how do you go about compensation discussion with one when one is being promoted so that one does not end up with a big title, more responsibilities or less, but less education? Yes?
Yes, maybe I can elaborate. You find that in some organizations, they assume
Yes.
that by giving you a bigger title,
Yes.
and the responsibility that in itself is kind of a reward. So that you find you really have a big title, responsibilities, and it's not matching what you're getting, leading to being overwhelmed. And it decreases your job satisfaction. That's why you find some people, they dread getting promoted because you just end up having the title. And again, during that time when you're discussing, you're kind of reacting in the moment. You are overjoyed with the position and all that, and you forget that you need also to consider what is in it for you as you get that promotion. So maybe just be proactive as you think about getting that promotion, being aware like this promotion should also come with this and this. As much as I'm getting the title, I'm getting these additional responsibilities, then this is what I should also get in terms of compensation. Because as we have already mentioned, it takes a lot to get there. The resources you're going to use for personal development and all that, extra commitments, the fact that maybe even you might need to cut off some activities in your life just to focus on these additional responsibilities. So I feel if you are well prepared and you are able to talk for yourself, then you are at a better position rather than just be excited with the position. Yeah. So if you can assist us in preparing for that, maybe when you are aware of the market rates for such positions and for such level of requirements or extra responsibilities, it will enable you to probably bargain. Yeah, because I find most people don't bargain when they get promotions. You might find maybe you just have an additional 2K, 5K or something for your salary. And then later on, that's when you discover that you are shortchanged.
Very true. Very true. Now I get your question. So you're asking whether what you need to do to ensure that you don't just get the title and responsibilities, but less compensation. So my approach to this would be, you need to have done research about this particular role, and also you need to understand the organization you're in. There are certain organizations that would give you, let's say they recruit you and tell you are HR manager, but in real sense, yes, you're doing everything HR manager, but you are not within even the market range. And some professionals will go for that because the moment you have that title HR manager and the responsibilities align with it, you use it to propel yourself to a better paying role. So I've seen certain organizations do that, like they call you relationship managers, yet you are sales executives. So there's that bit. But what you need to know is how does the organization deal with promotions, and whether the structures within the organization. So you have organizations that have, let's say, if you enter an organization, you enter at point, let's say job group, certain job groups. So let's say job groups, maybe A or B, yeah, depending on your years of experience and your education. So if it's structured that way, you already know that for this particular position, entry is 30K, and the maximum I can get for this particular position is 50K. So if you have that information with you, then even if you seek promotion, you would understand that for the organization, this is the maximum they pay for this particular role. So even if I get to a higher position, I need to do research to understand what is the compensation like. So I still go back to the question, do you really need the promotion? And I would say, yes, you need it, but you might want, if you are in such an organization, you might want to look for a promotion elsewhere. So you do everything you need to do within the organization, and don't do it for the organization you're in. Do it for yourself. So if you improve and you're very good at what you do, you'll always get an organization that would value your skills. That one I can assure you. So you don't do the bare minimum because your organization is not promoting you or not compensating you the way you should. That one you're doing a disservice to yourself. So ensure you do the best. Ensure that you give your all, putting in mind that you're not doing it for the organization, you're doing it for yourself, because you'll reach at a certain level that you would get an organization that would be equal to what your worth is. But if you've not worked on your worth, then even if you get an organization that is better, you might not even land that job because you're not totally good, because you did the bare minimum in the role you have. So I encourage you, just give it your all, and know that along the way, something will come up that is worth your while, but you need to be prepared for it. So as much as they give you the 2K on top, that is fine. Just do your all, but know that your target is different. Your target is not just being promoted within, is growing, even if it means leaving the organization. That would be my approach. I don't know whether that helps.
Yes, it does.
Okay. I'm seeing you want market it for that one. We can have a discussion of, but of course, I think if you're in HR, you would have done you've done just your brief survey, and you'll be able to have learned maybe the certain, even if you interview HR professionals for certain positions, you'd get such information, but you can have a discussion about that. I don't know whether we have any other question. Rahab? Any question on promotions or anything related to that or career? We don't have any questions even on the chat. Or key takeaways, any key takeaways you've gotten from the session? Right? Has the session been helpful?
Yes, very, very, very helpful. And
Okay.
my key takeaway is communicating my values and probably upskilling my taking my skills up. That is
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Thank you.
So, okay, thank you for that. So upskilling. I see Lillian is saying the session was very insightful. Thank you. Thank you, Winnie. Yeah, so when it comes to promotion, you need to just look at the areas we've tackled and look at it as a long-term thing. So that even if you're working hard to get promoted within your organization, you also benchmark with external other organizations within the same industry or higher. The things that you need to do to get to that level, so that even if your organization is maybe not at that level, you need to benchmark with them and know the things that you need to know. I'll give an example of sales. So you'll find that certain organizations still use Excel for doing their sales reports and everything, but you need to benchmark with organizations higher within the industry. You'll find that they're using things like CRMs, that is client relationship management systems. So you need to, as a professional, you need to learn that, because when you leave your organization, you're not leaving to go to another organization that is still below. You'll be going to an organization that is established. So you need to, as much as you're not using CRMs, you need to learn skills in how CRMs work. If your organization doesn't have ERPs or softwares managing it, you need to learn that. Even if you don't have the opportunity to learn it within the organization, you need to upskill so that you get ready for that opportunity. Because when you go to an interview and they're asking which CRM do you use and you're saying Excel, definitely you won't get that role, because they'll feel like you are not very prepared for that particular role. Yes, Lillian, I can see self-branding is a whole topic by itself. It will help to hear more of it. Yes, we can look at that, whether to have that as part of the topics. Yeah, we'll definitely have this one. Any other takeaway as we close, because we have just 11 minutes to go? Any question that you would want to ask, just feel free. Okay, I think maybe we don't have any question. So allow me to just share. You can follow us on LinkedIn so that you can keep in touch with what we are offering, the services we offer. As I had mentioned, for those who joined late, my name is Buliba Hosea, a HR professional with over 12 years experience, majority of it being at senior leadership level. I'm a HR consultant, and at Denidel, we offer various services, including HR consulting, coaching, and then also career services like CV, revamping. We have LinkedIn and cover letter. Also, I mentioned interview coaching. And if you are an organization and you need recruitment services, we also offer recruitment services. So we can recruit for you talent. We can train. We also do team buildings and also trainings. Under trainings, we have an e-learning system in case you need one. We can set up one for you, because this is the next thing. Because you can't train everyone. So you can have an e-learning system and maybe task HR and IT to come up with content that is valid for your staff. So you can take advantage of that. So let me just post the links here for our LinkedIn page, and then you can join. But thank you very much for taking time to attend this session. I'll provide the recording. So just share with me your email address on WhatsApp. Just chat me on WhatsApp, the email address, or post it here on the chat so that I can share with you the recording after we are done and the presentation. Thank you, Lillian. I've seen your email. Yeah, I've seen Regina. Yeah, thank you, Agnes. So this is our link for LinkedIn, and then on Instagram it's as Denidel _ LLP. So you can also follow us there. So thank you very much. So you can share. Those who haven't shared, you can also share on my WhatsApp, so that's fine. But I think we've gotten to the end of the session. Unless there's anyone with any